We keep seeing the same comments about Sacramento. It's too hot. The homeless situation is out of control. It used to be way more affordable. Why don't you guys talk about the bad parts?
Look, we've been helping families relocate to the Sacramento area for years. We live here, we work here, and we see the city every single day. Not through the highlight reel, not through the doom scroll. Most of these takes, they're coming from people who visited once, who saw one viral news clip. Sacramento is not perfect. No city is.
But we can tell you this, most people don't hate Sacramento. They're frustrated because nobody explained how this city actually works before they got here.
So this video is not a hype reel and it's not a hit piece.
This is real advice about living in Sacramento in 2026. What's great, what's genuinely frustrating, and what people completely misunderstand about this city.
Because if you understand Sacramento, and I mean really understand it, this place is one of the best cities in America to build a life.
But if you come here with the wrong expectations, you're gonna struggle.
So let's jump into it. All right, now let's start by clearing the air because the loudest opinions about Sacramento usually come from people who don't actually live here. First one, the crime and the homeless situation is absolutely out of control. Okay, so let's be honest about Sacramento. Sacramento does have visible homeless downtown. That's real. And it's something that the city is actively working on. But here's what doesn't get said. The majority of the neighborhoods families are moving into look nothing like what you see on the news.
Elk Grove, Roseville, Folsom, Rancho Cordova, Lincoln, Natomas, Granite Bay, Dorado Hills. These are communities with great schools, new construction, low crime, and normal suburban life.
The news shows you the downtown tent cities. It doesn't show you the 400,000 square foot Amazon distribution center that just opened up in Elk Grove. It also doesn't show you the brand new soccer stadium going downtown for the Republic FC. It also doesn't show you Aggie Square, a $1 billion innovation district being built right now connected to the UC Davis health system. And the growth is not happening in places that the news cameras are pointing to.
Second thing people say, everything got too expensive. Partially true. Prices went up, just like everywhere else in America after 2020. But here's the context nobody gives you. If you are coming from the Bay Area, Sacramento is still significantly more affordable. We're talking median home prices that are often $300,000 to $400,000 less than San Jose or San Francisco. If you're coming from Southern California, similar story. Your dollar goes further here. And if you're coming from out of state, California has a reputation for being expensive, and in some parts it is. But Sacramento sits in a category that most people don't expect.
Third, the heat is absolutely unbearable. We're not gonna lie to you, Sacramento summers are hot. We're talking 100+ degree temperatures for stretches of time in July and August, but here's what nobody tells you. The rest of the year, it's absolutely gorgeous, and that Delta breeze is killer. It still drops down to cool enough at nighttime, so you're not dealing with that heat 24/7, 365.
Now, spring here is one of the most beautiful seasons you'll ever experience. Fall is incredible, and winter, it's mild, mostly in the 50s. We don't do snowstorms, we don't do ice. We do 65 degrees in February and people are eating lunch outside.
You also have to know how Sacramento does summers. You plan your outdoor activities early in the morning or in the evening. You accept that your car is going to be a portable sauna from June through September. You get a pool or you know somebody who has one, and that 105-degree dry heat is a very different experience than that 95 humid heat somewhere in the south.
Now, once you learn to live with the summer, not against it, it genuinely changes how you feel about this city.
Now, real quick before we keep going, we're Lance and Lauren with the Living in Sacramento team. We specialize in helping families relocate to the greater Sacramento area, Bay Area transplants, Southern California families, out-of-state movers from all over the country. We do this every single week. We are boots on the ground in this market. So if you're seriously considering making a move to the greater Sacramento metro, whether it's this year, next year, 6 months, 9 months, it doesn't matter. If you're starting to do your research, go ahead and reach out. We absolutely love it when you guys reach out to us from the channel. So our phone number is going to be popping up on the screen. We are the ones that answer every phone call, email, and text message, and we absolutely love it when you guys reach out to us. So give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us that email. Or if you want to, you can schedule a one-on-one strategy session by scanning the QR code that's popping up on your screen right now.
All right, now let's talk about what life here actually feels like, because this is the part nobody really explains well. Sacramento is a do-stuff city. It's not a 24-hour party scene like Las Vegas. It's not Miami or New York where the city never sleeps. Sacramento is up early. People are at farmers markets at 8 a.m. on a Saturday. They're hiking the American River Parkway before it gets hot. They're at Folsom Lake on a Sunday morning. The culture here revolves around being outside, and that makes sense because Sacramento sits at the heart of everything. You're 90 minutes from Lake Tahoe, 90 minutes from Napa Valley, 2 hours from San Francisco, a few hours away from Yosemite. People in Sacramento don't just stay in Sacramento, they use their location. Weekend skiing in Tahoe, wine tasting in Napa on a Saturday, a quick trip to the Bay for dinner and back. This is one of the most underrated geographic advantages of any city in the country, and people from outside California almost never realize it until they're already here. Now, the food and the brewery scene here is real. Sacramento has been called the farm to fork capital of America, and that title is earned. We are surrounded by some of the most productive agriculture land in the world. The Central Valley produces a massive percentage of the nation's fruits, vegetables, and nuts. Now, what that means for you is the food here is genuinely incredible, fresh, local, and you feel it at the restaurants. And the brewery scene here has exploded over the last decade. Now, on a Friday evening, you will find half of Sacramento at a taproom patio watching the sunset. And speaking of sunsets, Sacramento sunsets over the Sacramento River are legitimately some of the most beautiful places that you'll ever see. Now, don't let anyone tell you different. Okay, pause, because we want to ask you something. Now, drop in the comments right now, where are you moving from? Are you a Bay Area transplant trying to escape the cost of living, or coming from Southern California looking for more space, or are you coming from out of state entirely? Maybe Texas, Arizona, the Pacific Northwest. We ask because your experience of Sacramento is going to be very different depending on where you're coming from, and we want to know who's watching this. So drop it in the comments, and if you're finding this helpful, do us a favor and hit that like button. It genuinely helps more people find this video who need it.
All right, now here's the stuff that nobody tells you, and we're gonna give it to you straight. First, Sacramento is sprawling. This is not a walkable city in most parts of Sacramento. You're gonna drive, and you're gonna drive a lot. The metro area spreads across multiple counties. Sacramento County, Placer, El Dorado County, Yolo County, they're all a part of the greater Sacramento region, and the suburbs keep going. Elk Grove to the south, Roseville and Rocklin, Lincoln to the north, Folsom and Dorado Hills to the east. People here don't talk in miles, they talk in minutes. How far is that? Oh, it's about 25 minutes. That's how it works. And depending on where you work and where you live, the commute matters. Highway 50 east of Sacramento can get ugly during rush hour. Interstate 80 north towards Roseville has its moments. And if you're commuting to Sacramento from Elk Grove on 99 at the wrong time, plan ahead. This isn't to scare you, it's just to tell you, pick where you live based off of where you work and where you play. Don't pick it based off of a pretty listing video or something that you see on Zillow. Now, number 2, the heat changes how you plan your entire life, especially if you have kids. Outdoor birthday parties in July, you're starting that at 6 p.m. Sporting events in August, you're bringing cold towels and extra water. School starts in August here and it's hot. But again, the people who thrive here learn to work with the season. Pool days replace beach days. Tahoe becomes summer retreat, and you genuinely appreciate October through May in a way you never appreciated weather before. And the third thing, Sacramento has micro neighborhoods, and they are very different from each other. Midtown Sacramento feels like a completely different city from Natomas. East Sacramento with its tree-lined streets and craftsman bungalows feels nothing like Elk Grove with its master plan communities and new construction. Folsom has an old town district with restaurants and wine bars, and it's surrounded by some of the best trail systems in the entire region. Dorado Hills sits up in the foothills with views that you don't even feel like you're in Northern California. They feel like you're somewhere where you'd pay twice as much for somewhere else. Your experience of Sacramento depends entirely on where you land and what your daily life looks like. The tourist Sacramento and the living in Sacramento barely overlap. You go to Old Sacramento, where I'm at right now, once or twice a year for a festival. Your real life becomes your neighborhood, your coffee shops, your gyms, your local brewery, and your kids' schools. That 15 to 20-minute bubble, that becomes your Sacramento.
Let's break down where people actually land once they move here, because this is one of the most common questions that we get. If you want urban energy, walkability, restaurants, and nightlife, then you're probably looking at Midtown, East Sacramento, and the Grid. This is where you'll find rooftop bars, independent coffee shops, the weekend farmers market on W Street, and the kind of neighborhood where you can walk to dinner. Now, if you have kids and you want a great school and a suburban feel, Folsom and Dorado Hills consistently top the charts. Folsom Cordova Unified and the El Dorado Union High School District both have strong reputations, and the communities out there have that balance of established neighborhoods and new development. Now, if you want new construction and you want to be in one of the fastest growing corridors in Northern California, then West Roseville and Lincoln are where our buyers are landing right now. You've got builders like Lennar, Pulte, Woodside Homes, and Brookfield Residential. They are all actively building out in the Placer County corridor. And the price points on new construction can still make sense compared to resale in a lot of cases. If you want affordability and access to Sacramento without being in the city, then you've got places like Rancho Cordova, Citrus Heights, and Antelope that offer options that come in under what you'll pay in Folsom or Roseville. And if you want small town feel with room to breathe, Lincoln is having a moment. It's growing fast. The master plan communities out there are excellent, and the price per square foot is still competitive. There's genuinely a landing spot for almost every lifestyle and budget in this region. But you have to know where to look, and that's exactly why having a team who knows this market matters so much.
All right, now let's talk about cost of living with full transparency. Grocery, gas, eating out, not wildly different from most major metros. You're not getting gouged just for being in California, but here's what is real, and you need to factor this in. California income tax is a real thing. If you're coming from states like Texas, Nevada, or Florida with no income tax, this is definitely gonna be an adjustment. Sacramento property taxes are actually quite reasonable when you look at it, typically between 1.1 and 1.2% of the assessed value when you purchase the home. But factor in your California state income tax into your budget planning on day one. Home insurance, this is a conversation worth having as well too. Not because Sacramento is a high-risk area the way coastal cities are, but California has broadly seen carriers lead the market, which has pushed up the rates. Get quotes early, don't let it be a surprise at the closing table. And now flood zones and fire zones. The vast majority where buyers are actually purchasing in suburbs like Roseville, Folsom, Dorado Hills, and Lincoln, you're generally not in flood zones or fire zones, but parts of Sacramento County near the rivers and parts of the foothills up in the Sierra Nevadas warrant the conversation about flood insurance and fire insurance. Bottom line on the cost of living, if you're coming from a high cost living area like the Bay Area, Los Angeles, Orange County, you're gonna feel a financial relief here. Now, if you're coming from a lower cost state, expect California taxes to be the biggest adjustment, because the people who thrive here financially are the ones who plan for the full picture, not just the purchase price of the home. Here's what we want you to think about for a second, and drop this in the comments. What is one thing that you're most nervous about when it comes to moving to Sacramento? Is it the heat? Is it the cost of living? Leaving your family behind? Not knowing anyone? Finding the right neighborhood? Because we've seen it all, and we want you to know that whatever that one thing is, you are not the first person to feel it. Every single week we work with families who have uprooted everything and made this move, and the ones who do their homework first, who have a plan, who get the right people in the corner, they figure it out. So tell us in the comments, what is your biggest concern, and let's go ahead and talk about it.
All right, we want to talk about what Sacramento is becoming, because this part of the story is seriously underreported. Sacramento is no longer just the state capital that people pass through on the way to Tahoe. It's evolving into one of the most interesting mid-sized cities in the Western United States. And the investments being made right now are setting up the next decade in a really significant way. Aggie Square is a massive development being built in partnership with UC Davis, combining research, healthcare, workforce housing, and innovation in a campus-style district on the east side of Sacramento. This is the kind of project that creates jobs, attracts companies, and changes the trajectory of a neighborhood. The Sacramento Republic FC Stadium is a brand new professional soccer stadium being developed downtown. It's part of a broader sports entertainment district that is going to completely transform the Doco area and what happens on game nights. The Port of Sacramento and the agriculture export economy, this region is a global player in food production and distribution. That doesn't make headlines, but it means Sacramento has a real diverse economic base, not just government jobs, not just tech. And then there's the tech spillover. As the Bay Area has pushed companies and workers out of reach for most people, Sacramento has become a landing zone for remote workers and for companies looking for lower cost and a quality workforce. The city is growing for reasons, not hype. Real infrastructure, real investment, real economic diversification. And the people who move here now, while prices are still significantly lower than coastal California, are going to look back in 10 years and feel really good about the timing.
Okay, final thought before we wrap this up, and we think that this is the most important thing that we can share with you throughout this entire video. The people who moved to Sacramento and absolutely love it, they all have one thing in common. They stopped trying to make Sacramento feel like wherever they came from. We see this pattern over and over again. The person who moves from the Bay Area and spends the first 6 months talking about how much better SF was on the weekends, they struggle. The person who comes here from LA who keeps saying, well, Venice Beach had this, they struggle. But the person who gets here, explores the American River Parkway on a Tuesday morning, finds their coffee shop in Midtown, drives up to Tahoe for the first time in November, that person figures it out fast. Sacramento is not trying to be San Francisco, and it's not trying to be LA. It's not trying to be Austin or Denver. Wherever you're comparing it to, it's doing its own thing. It has its own pace, its own culture, and its own pride. Sacramento is not perfect, but for the right person and the right family, it might just be exactly what you're looking for.
All right, let us leave you with this. Sacramento is a city that rewards the people who do their homework, who come with open eyes, and who are willing to lean into something a little different than what they originally expected.
Now, if you're seriously considering making this move, please do not try to figure this out on your own. There are too many nuances, too many neighborhoods, too many variables that matter on your situation specifically. Reach out to our team. Our contact information is on the screen right now. We are the Living in Sacramento team. We help families navigate this move every single week.
Now, we know the builders, we know the neighborhoods, we know the schools, the communities, the up-and-coming areas, and the ones to approach with caution. We are your boots on the ground, and we'd love to be your Sacramento real estate team of choice.
Now, if you want to go deeper, check out the playlist linked right here, full of breakdowns of different neighborhoods, different lifestyles, and what it's actually like to live in a specific part of the Sacramento region, not just the highlight reel.
And if this video helped you even just a little bit, do us a favor. Like it, share it with someone who's considering this move. Subscribe if you haven't already, because we drop new content every single week.
Sacramento is waiting for you.